Welcome to a casted game between Lucifron playing as the Delhi Sultanate versus GL the Viper playing as English. And I'm always excited to cast a Delhi game, and this is very, very high level, so should certainly be interesting. This is one of the finals matches for EGC's TV's Genesis tournament. And we see Lucifron opening up here with a mosque, throwing one villager on there. The rest are going straight to sheep while one builds a mill. Very interesting. Kind of a different opening, I kind of feel, than most people go straight to the mill. But he's going to be going straight for the sheep and then to the mill. And now he's taking that mosque. He's researching efficient production, sanctity, as always, as free technologies, and then picking up a house. Let's go see what's going on for the Viper. The goat himself is over here playing as the English. Probably going to be making lots of longbows, you can only assume. He's getting those sheep right around his town center. Meanwhile, dropping down a house followed by a mining camp. So that's 7 on food, then 2 to gold. And then he's out on the map looking for some of those sweet, sweet sheep. Let's take a closer look here at Lucifron's build, as we're very interested in the daily gameplay, since we don't see a whole lot of them. Right now, he's got 5 villagers on the berries, 2 on food, and has now put 2 on to gold. Make that 3 onto gold. So a very different opening, to be honest. So we see a lot of other players go for wood early on. He's got 7 on food and 3 on gold. So it'll be interesting to see how he transitions here as he moves up to the feudal age. But yeah, not going for wood yet. Now we have 8 on food, 3 on gold. Be interesting to see if next villagers, yes, there we go. He's going to go for these straggler trees, which do contain 150 wood. This is a wild spruce tree. Plenty of wood to be had. Let's see what's going on for the Viper. He is getting all of that sheep. 7 villas on sheep, 3 on gold, and 1 on wood at the moment. Going to drop down that lumber camp. So he can research forestry there in transition, but of course, Lucifron is able to research that forestry for free once he gets a lumber camp, but he does not have one down yet. Bringing back 1 villagers off gold. He has reached that 200 gold mark and is now moving back to food, it looks like, to just try to get this age in as fast as possible. So since he did forgo going for wood too early on here, he was able to age up. That was just before the 230 mark. So very good age up timing. He is going up with the Dome of Faith, which is the most popular landmark you want to age up with as the Delhi Sultanate. Let's see over here for Viper. He's also working on his town hall. I'm sorry, not town hall, council hall, which can train those super speedy training time longbows that we know that the English love to spam. So going up against potential longbow spam, it'll be interesting to see if Lucifron makes any spears. As you know, they would be in quite some trouble. Does he try to out-archer production him? Does he go for horsemen? That will be the question here. And right now he's got 2 on gold here in transition and just has 3 working on the Dome of Faith, 6 on food. And he is now putting down that lumber camp and will be starting those techs. Now, the first tech that he went for, it looks like was efficient production. I think he started Sanctity and then unqueued it. It's queued up for the second. So that means he can go straight into doing that ×2 military production. And since I don't see him really getting a barracks in the first age, perhaps he's going to throw that all into a stable or into an archer range. And actually, you know, maybe the reason why he delayed getting his wood is just because of the fact he's not trying to drop a barracks here in transition. He needs to wait and wants to get to the second age and then drop a military building. So maybe this is just good timing, maximizing his age up time and then going for the wood just now. Okay, these longbows are going to be in production very soon as this council hall is finished. And Viper's currently on food and wood, just splitting there. He has a pretty good build here. Look at all these sheep he has. All these sheep. He's got all these berries. A tree line behind his base. Very good positioning for Viper. Looking at the food here, we got the berries, of course, for Lucifron, because the berries off to the left. He wants them. And there we go. He hit the next stage. Let's see what military buildings he does put down. It looks like a villager's waiting to build something, possibly. There we go. He's building a stable behind his base. Now, why would he be building a stable behind his base? Well, in fact, I can only assume this is because Lucifron is trying to deny any scouting. He doesn't want his opponent to know that he is about to be massing up some horsemen, and he's going to be garrisoning. There you can see the scholar in there and having ×2 production of this horseman. He really wants to kill that scout to prevent him from seeing what he has, but I think the scout will check it out. Now, this is very common for professional players, professional match. Of course, he is going to be coming around the side and going to see that there's a stable there. Not only that, what is there? A blacksmith as well. So probably going right for those, probably some range defense, I would imagine. That iron undermesh, we'll have to see what he decides to go for. That's probably what he would choose. Let's see what Viper's up to. Is Viper training longbows? There we go. Longbows and a barracks going down. It'll be interesting if I'm assuming some spearmen here. He knows that there is a stable and is going to want something. Though longbows don't do terrible against horsemen, but if you get caught out of position, a horseman can overwhelm him. Let's see if he screws up this iron undermesh. Most likely is what he will go for. It has not queued up. There we go. Yep, iron undermesh will give him additional ranged armor. Both players scouting each other. You can see here, like if we look at the line of sight, they can see exactly what military productions are coming down. He knows what's going on. Here we go. Longbows across the field right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 longbows with a pike. And he's going to be able to quickly gain these horsemen, though. He's already up to 4 horsemen. These guys are training very, very quickly. 11 seconds, so that's half as long as it would usually take. So by the time he walks across the map, Lucifron's going to have a very nice mass. And honestly, maybe he won't expect that. Maybe Viper might not realize how quickly he's going to be able to mass up these horsemen. Now, it does look like he doesn't know exactly where the enemy army is. There we go, coming in, getting a shot off. 2-shotting, down goes. Ooh. One, I thought he would. Okay, look at that. Split killed both of the villagers. Wow. Okay, so 2 villager lost there. A nice pickup for the Viper. But now, will the horseman get the flank? The ultimate flank. Maybe he's going around the side. I think he may take this engagement. Though, I don't think with 3 spearmen and longbows, not sure I would want to take this engagement. Maybe wait till you can just really get a mass of horsemen out. And he does have 2 blacksmiths pumping out technologies. He's also going for the steeled arrow. Now, going for the steeled arrow, I don't see any archery ranges down quite yet. So maybe he's planning on transitioning into some archers. Is my only guess. And picking up a few of the reinforcements there. 1 longbow does go down, but loses some health on the horseman. Meanwhile, mid-map, a horseman gets caught out of position. Oh boy, we have a scholar. Now, these scholars are not very fast until they get their upgrades, and which make them really fast. And he's going to be making a beeline back for the mosque. I'm not sure if he will make it back or not. And not to mention, villagers are going to go idle off of this berry bush, picking off the rest food he can. Oh boy, but will the scholar escape? This is going to be so close. 8 health. He did escape. Very nice, but archers in the line of fire. But a flank coming out from the horsemen up on those longbows. This is probably going to be a complete cleanup of the Viper's forces. He was able to get an archer out and is currently... Oh, down goes the scholar. Was able to pick off those spearmen. Just 1 left there with this archer. Very nice micro archer on the spearmen and then the horsemen on the longbows. So this is a nice cleanup. And a good start for Lucifron, because you want to be putting damage on that longbow mass. But now, oh boy, we see some man-at-arms out here. Man-at-arms are very annoying for Delhi in the Second Age. They're kind of tricky to counter. Technically, nothing on paper counters them, but your best bet is a bunch of horsemen and archers. Get to surround with those horsemen on them, with those archers doing DPS on the back line. But they can definitely throw a wrench in the equation, as they are very, very tanky units. And so now working on, you can see he almost does have a steeled arrow, which he was researching. He's sitting on just 1 mosque right now. He does have a scholar garrison inside the archery range here, so having double production of archers. And right now we've got the horsemen coming up, looking to do a charge, but man, this is going to be a hard fight to take just because of all of these man-at-arms. But it looks like he's trying to just target down the archers. Because the man-at-arms probably aren't going to be sniping his vills from range. He's just really going after the archers, but losing a lot of units. I'm not sure if this was a great trade here for Lucifron. I'm not entirely sure why he decided to dive in there, losing a villager along the way. So if we look at the military graph, they've got 18 killed for Viper, 12 lost. So Viper is in the lead. And now these longbows will just start harassing the economy of Lucifron. Okay, and on the back line, now look at this. He's got his berries covered. He's got his hunts covered. He is starving off Lucifron. This is the only place he can gather other than the sheep. Okay, he does have a lot of sheep, so he's doing okay back in around the town center. So he'll survive for now, but will need to expand out eventually. And Viper's just really trying to get that surround. Meanwhile, mid-map, I'm not sure if this horseman can take out man-at-arms and just like that. And these longbows going to be looking to get some more picks. Now, the English are kind of afforded some more flexibility in their build with the barracks and the longbow production because they can switch between these man-at-arms and spears. Meanwhile, around the side, picking off a villager there with the longbows. I don't even know how many villagers that Lucifron has lost. Let's look here. 20. He's already on 30 villagers for Lucifron versus the 36 of Viper. So he's probably got 3, 4, 5 villagers and is quite ahead at the moment. So just doing that surround with the man-at-arms. Now actually he's doing a little bit of siege on his mining camp. He doesn't really need that gold, to be honest, but certainly be off. Now, a little bit awkward. His army is split just a little bit, and if Lucifron can overwhelm this force, he can take advantage of just having the greater numbers. So there we go. Look at these longbows going down. He's ignoring the early man-at-arms because the early man-at-arms are really going to tank. It's easier to pick off the longbows and then focus down the man-at-arms. So interesting choices there with the micro. I think very nice from Lucifron. But then he is going to get flanked by some man-at-arms here very soon. So trying to run away from those man-at-arms. Let's look at the speed here. 1.25 movement speed for those archers versus the 1.12 of the man-at-arms. So just slightly faster. And they are also faster, 1.12 for the longbows. These archers are going to be faster than all of Viper's army. Trying to drop down a cheeky outpost. Man, this is a little insulting. So close to his main camp. He knows that Lucifron's civilization has been colonizing this area, and he is just coming in and building right on top of it. But his archers are picked off all of the longbows, all that's left are these man-at-arms, and now he can just outrun them and just slowly work the way down. Now he does have several of these upgrades now at the blacksmith, as you can see here. So his troops are doing a significant amount of damage, and now he can do the kiting. Look at this. Longbows can't shoot at him. He only has these man-at-arms. Let's see for Viper. He does have this blacksmith. It does look like he has a few of his ranged upgrades in, but none for his melee units quite yet, other than the fact of the ranged defense, right? Okay, so a nice archer count from Lucifron right now. And now if we look at the military graph, actually appearing to be ahead. So very nice. Let's see, look at the total resources, what's going on here. So both players clearly staying in the second age, with Lucifron just continuing to pump out the archers and the horsemen. Let's see if does he have, I say that, but does he have any others in queue? He does some archers. So he's just making archers, not really investing in many horsemen at this time. Needs to be careful. You don't want those man-at-arms to stand within range, because there you go. Very quickly, they would just take out an archer. But in the grand scheme of things, these archers are rather cheap units. They cost 30 food and 50 wood. That is converted to Viper's man-at-arms, which costs 100 food and 20 gold. So expensive units. But he's doing a good job keeping them alive in general. Just kind of keeping this pressure on Lucifron, and just now finally taking that sacred site that we're used to seeing Delhi take so often. Look at this. We got Scholars under attack by the wolves. Meanwhile, continuing this fight mid. Can these archers get shots on those villagers? I think would be in his interest, but his archers are going to take shots from his man-at-arms. Oh, that villager escaped just barely. There we go. Horsemen chase him down, so he does lose 2 villagers right there. But his archers taking a lot of casualties standing in the middle of those man-at-arms. They're just so hard to clean up without having age 3 units. He needs some crossbows or knights or man-at-arms of his own. And those man-at-arm numbers just keep growing. And this could get very difficult for Lucifron. Okay, we got archers taking shots. He just continues. You guys notice this. Take note. Every time he takes an engagement, he focuses down the longbows and then worries about the man-at-arms, because the man-at-arms will just tank while those longbows are hurting you. So a smart move, and Really liking the micro out of Lucifron, but Viper has the higher numbers at the time, and this is not a place you want to be in, especially with the fact that these are man-at-arms. It's going to be very, very hard to deal with. Looking back at home, he could maybe build another lumber camp here. I know he's been busy microing, but that's some long distance walking there for that wood. It does look like he did lose his sacred site down to the left, but up the top right, he does also have that sacred site. And that will be providing 200 gold per minute. Upgrades continuing to come in. He just about has all of them here for the second age. But Viper continuing to close down on Lucifron's position here. So I'm starting to get a little bit nervous for him. Is he going to hold this up? He's run out of sheep, so he's forced to move off, whether the berries to the west or to the food from the east. Looks like he's going to the east. All of these villagers are out there. 20 villagers stacking up on just a few hunts. Not the most ideal situation. But look at this. We've got horsemen getting up on the longbows. A nice flank on the longbows right now. But at the same time, his archers taking some shots from these man-at-arms. On the west side, just one man-at-arms sitting there, just patrolling. He was able to finally complete the tower there mid and is now building a tower, another tower outside of Lucifron's base. But a lot of low HP man-at-arms. If he can finish these off, he could have a fighting chance here. Obviously, this outpost is something you want to avoid. I think maybe he killed the villagers that were on that outpost, so he was able to stop it for now. He definitely does not want that outpost to go up. And there you go. You see the archers continuing to take shots. A nice game so far. Just a lot of back and forth here at these fights. And there we go. Picking off a scout. Now he knows that if he can pressure this spot, he can shut down the food income of Lucifron. Any other villagers coming up to build that tower? It doesn't look like at the moment. And right now, he's just going to chill by that outpost. He's got his man-at-arms. While the archer numbers are growing, still just sitting on one archery range and one stable. Of course, he's got the double production there. It looks like he's housed at the moment, so he's going to need to drop down some houses. Where is he doing that? It looks like he just built one right there. And now going to those mills, not even walking back to the town center. He just dropped a farms right around the mill. But here we go. We got horsemen up on the man-at-arms. This is what you want. Kind of a combination of horsemen surrounding man-at-arms with the archers putting on some DPS. We'll see how this fight goes, actually, though, because there's a lot of man-at-arms in there. And a lot of low HP man-at-arms. I'd just like to see him maybe be able to focus some of those down. Maybe the horsemen will go for a charge here on the longbows. There we go. Trying to. Those longbows going to be picking off some horsemen. Getting a little bit of healing in on his troops. Very smart. But now we got an economy situation here. We got villagers in the way. This could be really tricky. Now, maybe the villagers will take a few shots as he loses them. But overall, this is feeling like a desperate moment for Lucifron. He can't afford to lose these villagers, get pushed off food, and lose his army right now. This is a fight or flight moment. We've got horsemen on the back line on the longbows, but meanwhile, villagers being wailed on by these man-at-arms. And I can only feel that Lucifron is falling behind. Looking at the score, Viper's up 700 points at the moment. So GG is called, and this game will go to the Viper as the English up against Lucifron's Delhi. Hope you enjoyed this casted game. If you want to see more Delhi action, I've got plenty of strategy guides up on my channel. I just put another build order on the YouTube, and you can also download that in the Discord. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.